All right, welcome back to Epicus Gamicus Metallicus, year by year. And this week we're doing 1974. Luke's back again.
Here I am again.
Yep. Whose turn is it to go first?
I think it's me.
Okie doke.
All right, got Rush by Rush. Yet another debut
yes.
album. It's kind of before they got into their real Rush sound. It's kind of more just straightforward rock before Pert got in.
Yeah, there is pretty much no prog in this album.
Yeah,
they're just straight up rock band. But this album is still classic.
Yeah.
One of the best albums.
A couple of live staples here.
Ever recorded.
Working Man, In the Mood.
Yeah, and the other one, what's the other one? Is it? Oh, What You're Doing?
Yeah.
That's a great headbanging song. It's got sort of a circular motion to it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
A lot like the song Roots Bloody Roots by Sepultura. And this album is probably the most metal Rush album.
Yeah, so you're right.
Because when they went progressive, they kind of added they use a lot of acoustic guitars and lighter sounds. So they're still very heavy, but they're not quite metal.
Right, yeah.
At that point. Not to say that they weren't an influence on metal, obviously. They were probably one of the most influential prog bands on progressive metal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Every band, from Dream Theater to Mastodon, they're all huge Rush fans. So, and I feel like Rush, for me, is like a test. If somebody likes Rush, then they have good taste in music. If they don't, they have poor taste. Because it seems like Rush are one of the bands that almost everybody can agree on. Like Sean, he listens to almost exclusively thrash metal, but he still loves Rush. And my roommate from last year listens to mostly metalcore, still loves Rush, And obviously even the classic rock fans love Rush as well.
Yeah, definitely.
They're definitely a band everyone can agree on. And I feel like, I don't know how big they are in the new wave camp for their new wavy albums.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can really get into Rush from the new wave, or do you have to start in the 70s and then you sort of have to go with them through their development.
Definitely, yeah.
You can't just jump in halfway through and otherwise it won't make any sense to you. Okay, so my first album is Rock'n'Rolla by Judas Priest. I will admit this album is one of the weaker offerings of Judas Priest. But I still like it because I'm a huge Judas Priest fan. And these early albums by Priest definitely get kind of disrespected a little bit because they're a little weird. They haven't fully developed into the chugging dual guitar style of Deep Purple yet. But there's still a lot of interesting songs on this album. I mean, the title track, Rock'n'Roll, is interesting, and Never Satisfied. And this album does have Rob Halford doing his... You can kind of hear he's got his style set up. He has a little bit of refinement to do before he's got it quite perfect, but it's still got a great vibe to the album. Very random.
Right.
Let's hear two.
I have another Skynyrd album here from last week with a second helping.
Second helping of Skynyrd? Nice.
Gives you Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love
in particular.
Wait, what was the album called?
Second helping.
Oh. Just looking up the tracks on Wikipedia here. So what other songs do you like on there?
Well, a couple of my personal favorites are Don't Ask Me No Questions and Needle in the Spoon.
Interesting titles.
And Ballad of Curtis Lowe is actually a really good story.
Yeah. Interesting. And with me, Sweet Home Alabama, that's one of the core road trip songs.
Yeah.
You gotta have Sweet Home Alabama in there somewhere. Yeah. And I know one of my friends, last year we did a lot of hiking trips, and gotta have Sweet Home Alabama. Every time, it's gotta be in there. It's like the theme song of Texas or Southern road trips, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm definitely looking forward to passing through Alabama. As soon as you hit the state line, Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
It's classic. And so, my second album is "Fly to the Rainbow" by Scorpions. This is again a couple weeks ago. We were talking about the Eagles, who are not called the Eagles. They're just the Eagle. They're just Eagles, right? It's the same with Scorpions. You want to call them the Scorpions, but they're not the Scorpions.
Right.
It's really confusing. I wonder if that's with the Scorpions. There I go. With Scorpions, is it just a German thing that makes more sense in German than it does in English? So that's what they stuck with.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah. And this album, definitely an obscure one, but it does have a lot of great songs on it, which they're songs that they don't fit in 74. They've almost got a proto-punk vibe to them. It's almost like an early Nawabum album. It's very strange, but like songs like Speedy's Coming and Fly People Fly, it's very interesting songs in it. I don't understand why this album isn't considered a classic.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the hidden gems
Definitely.
of early metal. Yeah. And it's albums like this that kind of spur my problem with classic rock radio, is that they just play the same old songs over and over again.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of good songs which most classic rock fans would like, but for some reason, classic rock radio is afraid to play anything but the hits.
Right.
And I don't understand that. It just leads people to want to listen to Pandora or something which actually has a good mix.
Right, definitely.
So what's your number 2? Is that where we are?
It's number 3, I think.
Number 3, okay.
Actually, coincidentally, this is an Eagles album.
Oh, there you go.
Their third, On the Border.
Nope.
It's a really good comeback from their second album, Desperado, which didn't do that well on its release.
A little under.
Yeah. It's got a couple other hits. Already Gone, James Dean. A personal favorite of mine is On the Border.
I don't actually know the Eagles too well, so
Gotcha.
Eagles don't work for me. They're just too soft. I'm gonna have a little more oomph in my music.
Something harder, yeah.
Yeah. So my number 3 is "Burn" by Deep Purple, which is the first album with David Coverdale on vocals, who later started Whitesnake, obviously, and it's really hard to associate him. It doesn't, like, you listen to Whitesnake and you listen to his early Purple stuff, and you're like, this is the same guy?
Yeah.
He's almost like, you confuse him with Ian Gillan, and you're like, but you'd never confuse, like, you listen to Whitesnake, he doesn't sound anything like Ian Gillan.
Right.
He's got that whole soul singer vibe going. But this album definitely, Coverdale and Glenn Hughes brought in a lot of funk influence.
Yeah.
For songs like Might Just Take Your Life and What's Going On Here, which is clearly a funk song, right?
At least personally, I'd call it kind of a reprieve from, like, just the heavy organ sound that you get in earlier Purple albums.
Oh, yeah. And then this album also has the song Mistreated, which is probably the classic from the David Coverdale era of Purple. I'm not sure, but I would guess that Whitesnake usually play that song live. That's probably the one that made it into the Whitesnake live catalog.
I think you're right.
And it's also got the title track, which is like the Speed King or the Highway Star of this album.
Yeah.
But it's a different vibe than Mark II Purple. Mark III Purple kind of, like I said, it's got the funk influence, but it's just something about the production that just sounds like pitch perfect.
Definitely.
Again. And that's something that I go back to a lot in this period of music. It's just everything sounds perfect.
Yeah.
So, who's getting left out this year?
Ooh.
I think I'm going to have to leave out Rock-A-Rolla.
I think I'm going to leave out On the Border.
Okay. So, Rock-A-Rolla or On the Border?
Honestly, I think Rock-A-Rolla beats On the Border.
All right. That was the Eagles album, right?
Was.
Okay. Yeah. And the less Eagles we have, the better, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just going too light there. Yep. I think we'll call it. We're done for 74. See you in 2 weeks for 75. Goodbye.